Hello, my dear students. After a long gap, I have appeared before you with a very unique poem by Adrienne, an American poet, short story writer, and a fighter for women liberation. Liberation from all sorts of imprisonment and their confinements. The name of the poem is The Trees, composed by Adrienne Rich, an American poet, a short story writer, and a feminist too. However, let us begin. The trees inside are moving out into the forest. At first, or at the beginning of the poem, you may realize or you may feel that it is a poem about deforestation, afforestation, or about the trees. But no, here the trees symbolize the women folk. Here the trees symbolize all the women of the whole world, especially of American society. The trees inside are moving out into the forest. That means the forest is incomplete without the presence of the woman. As if women are the part and parcel of the forest. The trees were inside the house. That means the women were confined in the environment of a house, within the four walls of a house, and now they are struggling hard to come out from their confinement. The forest that was empty all these days. So without the trees, without the woman, the forests were vacant. The forests were incomplete. Where no bird could sit and no insect hide. That means ecology, that is environment, includes insects, birds, trees, plants, etc. So, the birds, insects, etc. were absent as there were no trees in the area. That means as there was no forest. No sun buried its feet in shadow. That means sunlight couldn't reach the floor of the forest because there were no trees. The forest that was empty all these nights will be full of trees by morning. That means the forest was vacant, the forest was incomplete without the presence of the woman in society. The women are struggling for their liberation, liberation from superstitions, liberation from confinement of the men folk or made by the men folk. Now the women are struggling hard to come out of their home confinement and to mix with the environment outside. This is the content of the poem. All night the roots work to disengage themselves from the cracks. That means the women have been struggling for a long time to separate themselves from the veranda floor. Here veranda floor symbolize the floor of the rooms, the floor of the veranda. The lips strain toward the glass. Here, glass also symbolizes the barrier, the confinement, the imprisonment. So the leaves of the trees are trying their level best to come out or to crack the glass. They are small twigs, they are small branches, steep with exertion or exertion, long cramped boughs suffering under the roof. That means the women were under the roof, the women were struggling hard under the roof for their liberation, for their freedom, and now, like newly discharged patients, half-dazed, moving to the clinic doors. That means they are not completely free. They have not enjoyed complete freedom, and they are coming out gradually from their confinement as if they were the newly released patients from the hospitals or from the clinics, and they are unable to adjust themselves with the environment outside. That means half-dazed. That means not fully aware, fully conscious, or fully cured. Now come to the third stanza. I sit inside, doors open to the veranda, writing long letters. That means the poet is trying to compose a long letter, sitting inside the doors of the room, in which I scarcely mention the departure of the forest from the house. That means scarcely, rarely, hardly, etc. All these are used in negative sense. So it is the letter in which the poet cannot mention the full freedom, the full liberation of women. They are partially liberated. They are partially freed from the confinement. The night is fresh, the whole moon shines in a sky still open. Now, the poet is optimistic. She is not pessimistic. The poet is optimistic to see that the whole moon shines. That it means the moon is going to shine with its dazzling light. It is the indication, or it is very suggestive to show that the women are going to be liberated completely. The smell of leaves and lichen still reaches like a voice into the rooms, and a fragrance of leaves and fungus, that is lichen, still reaches like a voice into the rooms. And the room in which the poet is sitting and is writing a letter for the liberation movement of the woman reaches the poet. The smell, the fragrance of the trees outside, of the leaves of the trees outside, the smell of lichen, that is fungus, outside, are coming to her nose. That means it is very suggestive, and it is very important for her to realize that the women are going to be liberated. My head is full of whispers, which tomorrow will be silent. That means the head of the poet is full of various suggestive notes, and they will be silent tomorrow, because tomorrow is the day on which the liberation movement will be completed. Listen, the glass is breaking. The poet is highly optimistic, and that is why she is too much emotional to address the readers. Listen to the voice, that the glass is breaking. That means the barrier, the confinement is cracking, is breaking for the liberation of the woman, and the trees are stumbling forward. And somehow the trees are coming out of their confinement. That means the women are coming out from their confinement. Okay? Winds rush to meet them, and as it is a matter of ecological balance, the winds are blowing very gently to combine with the trees, to help the trees, as if the wind is also very happy to see the liberation movement of the trees, because the wind is also the part and parcel of trees. The moon is broken like a mirror, and the moon is broken like a mirror. That means the mirror is broken, the glass is broken. It is also very symbolic. The moon is broken like a mirror. That means the confinement of the woman is broken like a mirror, is completely shattered. Its pieces splash now in the crown of the tallest oak, and the pieces of the broken glass have fallen on the topmost twig of the oak. That means it is the trump of the woman, it is the victory of the woman, and they are completely free. So the poet is not a feminist, but a fighter for the liberation of women. That's the end of my lecture, and I think that it will be very much helpful to you, and you will not forget to subscribe my channel, to like, to comment and share. Thanking all of you. Goodbye.